the men at Ascot.
In Ross Orion, the last to load, goes into gate 22 on the outside. They're in the gate and they're off. And they race over 1.5 miles. The King George V Stakes very slow to begin with Singers a Song. Singers a Song was sleepy. Keeping out very wide is Ryan Moore on Serious Contender in the early stages with the white cheek pieces. Ames racing on the inside of Propose. A Gunship is another one who goes forward. Masai Moon just in behind the leaders. Then on the inside rail is Nautical Force as they are making the run now down the hill on towards the turn at Swinley Bottom, having blown the start. Singers a Song right in the cheap seats, last at the field, racing a good 15 lengths off the dueling leaders, and that is Serious Contender out wide but now beginning to get into the 3 path. On the inside is Ames. Proposed will just drop back a little, which will allow Serious Contender, his stablemate, now to get in the 2 path as they go into the turn. Gunship is racing in 4th position. On the inside, Nautical Force is racing in 5th. Mactin is in 6th. He races around the outside. In 7th is Bosun. Then the blue of Masai Moon around the outside. Then between horses Pantile Warrior as they go on towards the halfway point. Next in the field, the blue and white of the Cursor, but he's wide around that turn with Grecian Legacy towards his inside. Then Omni-Man has to begin to make the run up the hill. Chestad is next in the field, followed then towards the rear of the field by Daiquiri Bay, who races alongside Waterford Flow, and after that one is Light as Air, followed on the inside by Lightning Man, and still last is Singers a Song, and already they're going now inside the final 5 furlongs, and it is Ames now who leads by about 1.5 lengths, and already getting to work. Ryan Moore on Serious Contender in 2nd place. Propose on the inside is in 3rd, and Gunship the Maroon is in 4th. Masai Moon around the outside, another one going to be wide going into the turn. Nautical Force towards the inner, then Maftin. After that one is the Cursor who makes ground, and written on the inside is Bosun, and now they're being to make the turn back towards home. Merchant still with quite a bit to do. He's only in midfield. They've turned in, and it's Ames who still has the lead. Rallying gamely, however, it's Serious Contender, then Gunship down the wide outside. Maftin is next in the field, and now they're racing inside the final 4.5, and it's Serious Contender who has taken the lead down the wide outside. Pantile Warrior staying on. Merchant now is beginning to find his stride late, switching out. Nautical Force also has a chance. Serious Contender against the rail, and on the outside Merchant. Between those two is Pantile Warrior. Merchant though has quickened up the best up the hill, and it is Merchant who takes the King George V to Serious Contender in 2nd. Back in 3rd, Pantile Warrior. In 4th was Nautical Force, and they were followed home by Omni-Man. And then Ames, the long-time leader. It didn't look likely as they turned for home, as Merchant was only in midfield. He had a wall of horses ahead of him, but Tom Marquand hasn't panicked, and he's managed to come wide, and he's won in the end by about 1.25 lengths. He's beaten Serious Contender, hit a bit of a flat spot coming up the hill, and rallied in 2nd. A neck away back in 3rd is Pantile Warrior, and then Nautical Force was in 4th, Omni-Man in 5th, Ames, the long-time leader, in 6th, and Bosun involved in a photo for 7th with Daiquiri Bay. A 2nd win in this race for both Tom Marquand and William Haggas. The King George V Stakes has gone the way of Merchant.
And a 5th for these colours. Highclere Thoroughbred. Harry Herbert's team, I'm sure, will be here in force. How they must love this race. How William Haggas must love this race. 2023 Desert Hero for the King and Queen. Today it's Merchant under Tom Marquand, who I thought, Jason, was absolutely brilliant in this race.
Well, he has been. He's been posted a little bit deep, if you like, 2 or 3 wide most of the way round, but was back in the ruck. Again, they've gone really quick. I have to tip my hat to Aiden's runner, Serious Contender, who was in that firing line all the way. He's one of the first off the bridle. He keeps on going, but it's a change of gear late on for the York winner.
Absolutely, I think that change of gear is certainly winning the race. Serious Contender, though, with first one off the bridle, he's more like a lengthener rather than a quickener. He just seems to grind it out. He maybe would get a bit further as well. He may well step up in trip, but I think that change of gear with Merchant has just helped him win the race, and he's looked so progressive, hasn't he, since he started this season. He saw the trip out well at York, and yeah, he's come from stall 20, so high draws are definitely not a negative.
Ed, you're absolutely right. Just as they swing in, the temptation would have been to go wide, but he didn't. He came back in and didn't get caught out right on the wide outside.
Yeah, I wondered at the beginning of the race if it was half a tactic from James Doyle on Sing Us a Song to miss the break a bit. Probably not as badly as he did, but that's one that sat last. Also ran on for mid-dip position, but was probably too far back. But Merchant was able to get some relatively easy fractions early when they were going quite hard. And he's clearly a classy animal. He's clearly got more improvement still to come.
He's classy.
Yeah.
He's got a great attitude. Yeah. He loves fast ground. Well, what would you expect? He's bred by Jim Bolger.
He is bred by Jim Bolger, exactly. Well spotted.
Tom Marquand has a big smile on his face, understandably getting on the board here at Ascot on this horse, who had to overcome being back in the ruck a little bit and then having to find that turn of foot. So how impressed are you, Tom?
Yeah, very. The one thing I would say is that I think that win is because of William. He was very, very sure on how he wanted me to ride him, and that was with a lot of confidence. And it's very easy to do when you know you've got a good horse under you, which we know with this chap. He's improving. He's got a great mind. Albeit we were back, we had a smooth passage, a very smooth passage, and William was so right in riding him in that way.
You just said during that answer, very good horse. When you're thinking about the future as to a very good horse, and Matt asked William before the race about the King George entry here at the end of July, how very good is this horse?
Oh, look, that is a big step up. But he's on that trajectory, and I think, you know, the one thing I was very confident in today was going to be his mind. You know, he just doesn't let you down, and he went down to the start like he was at Chepstow on a Monday, which at Royal Ascot is such a big asset. But delighted for obviously Highclere, so many people involved, and some of the Lodge team. I love riding Ascot winners for anybody, but look, when they're for the team that support you the whole year round, and everybody puts so much in at home, and you know it means a lot. So.
Well done.